All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Teens and Money, protecting your identity and your financial future. Really appreciate you taking the time to learn about this really important topic, and really about one of the fastest growing crimes that is going on in America, and that is identity theft, and that is identity fraud. So appreciate you spending a little bit of time here on a Tuesday evening with us. So we are going to be, stay tuned for this. We're going to, I'll be monitoring the chat if you got questions as we're going through this. And we'll be giving away a Amazon gift card as well to one lucky winner here on the webinar here. We'll give that away towards the end. So my name is Tony Byer. I am the financial wellness coordinator here at Altra, also a certified credit union financial counselor. Help do some of the coaching and things like that. And again, really appreciate everybody being here. And hopefully by the end of this presentation, you learn to trust again. But it's really important, again, to keep all of this in mind and really be on our toes when it comes to different scams, fraud, and things like that. So something to think about, because this is happening so often, is that a identity is stolen or used fraudulently every 2 seconds. It is happening that often here. Numbers that I've last seen, I haven't seen anything 2024, but 2023, more than 15 million people were affected. More than $20 billion was lost with this as well. So it is a rapidly growing crime here. And again, glad you're learning so much more about this as well. So really everybody's a target. And when it comes to identity theft, when it comes to identity fraud, it's really not a question if I'm going to be a victim in my lifetime. It's more of a question of when is it going to happen. So being aware, being ready, and spotting those different scams and frauds, and taking a step and just, hold up, pump the brakes with this. We'll talk about some of the things that these scams have in common. Many of them, they're scams that have been around a long time, but they continue to evolve, and especially technology. AI has come into play as well, a little bit with images, voices, things like that. So really important to be on our toes. So everybody's a target, but young adults like yourselves are big targets. And some reasons for that is that young adults typically have a clean credit record. So maybe no experience with credit or no credit in their name. Or very little as well. So typically there's not going to be anything negative on there, which is very appealing to identity thieves. Also, living with others. So living at home, you've got parent, grandparent, guardians, aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters, others that are around as well. Possibly in the future, we may have roommates or things like that. We may not always be, let's say, monitoring the mail, or always keeping track of our wallet, our purse, billfold, things like that. So, in close connection and having others with us here as well. Everybody is sharing a lot online, but especially, social media networks and things like that. So with a lot of those, less is more. And then a lot of young adults, you're busy with other things, probably not checking our credit. We may not be on top of all of our accounts all the time as well. So these are some of the reasons that young adults are a target, but again, everybody is a target. Also, those that are young at heart as well. So let's say, possibly, parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, who knows, for some of these same reasons as well, but also may not be as great with technology as well, maybe more trusting of others, maybe lowly as well, but really everybody's a target when it comes to identity theft and fraud here. And how it typically happens, it is through something called social engineering. So typically when it comes to a system, it's usually, not the hardware, the software, things like that. It's usually a person that is the weakest link when it comes to a lot of this. It could be clicking on a link that you think it's coming from a trusted source, and it's not. It's answering a phone call thinking it's somebody, and it isn't that person, and you're giving information. It could be, downloading an attachment. It could be entering, username and password on a site that's been spoofed. It may look like a legitimate site, but if you look at the URL or you look at things like that, it's definitely not. Or maybe we've got a weak password or no password, or We're not, updating, some of our different, mobile devices or computers or different systems as well. So typically with a lot of this, it's a person that is that weakest link. So again, glad you're here learning more about this, but you want to be careful with your information, always questioning, why do they need this? Why do they, want this information? Identity thieves, they use this to impersonate you and possibly open accounts, take over accounts that we may already have, or things like that. So we always want to be on our toes when it comes to a lot of this. And what we can do is we want to play defense online. So things that we should not share when it comes to identity theft, when it comes to fraud, any part of your social security number. And we may have those on the call that have a completely random social security number, but those that were born before or have social security numbers that were distributed before 2011, the last 4 digits are actually the most random part of your social security number. So if somebody knows where and when you were born, they may be able to figure out or at least get a range of what those first 5 digits are going to be, because that relates to the Social Security office that would have generated that number. And that's so it does relate to that a little bit. So they may be able to get some ranges there. But again, those last 4 are the most random. So any part of your number since 2011, Social Security numbers have just been randomly generated. So there's nothing whatsoever with that. So you definitely want to be careful with that information. Also, your home address, your phone number as well. We want to do the best we can to keep that offline, or if it's needed, really questioning and asking why. And then, having a whole complete detail, work, school history, all that personal information online. Be wary of it. Be careful of it, because once you put it out there, it's always out there as well. You could try to delete it. You could try to change it. But it could be cached on a server somewhere. People take screenshots, things like that. So again, we want to play defense with our information online. And if you get nothing else out of this today, and hopefully you get more than this, but if you get nothing else out of this today, passwords, they are very, very, very important. Make sure that they are strong. Make sure that we are updating them. And someone discovered my password. Oh, man. Now I got to rename my dog. Okay. Dog's on his 5th name right now. He doesn't even know what to go by. But typically when it comes to passwords, it's not somebody, for the most part, sitting there at a computer trying to guess, is it password 123? Is it capital, P password 123 exclamation point? It is being fed into a program, an algorithm, and it is trying hundreds of thousands of combinations a second with this. So we want to make sure that our passwords are complex. So they not only have lowercase letters, but they've got, capital letters. They've got symbols in there. They've got lowercase numbers, uppercase numbers. I'm just kidding. Numbers are numbers with this. But you want to have a combination of all those. And it's recommended that your password be at least 12 characters long. And we should think of our password more as a passphrase as well. So instead of just a password, it could be, something that you can remember, that something's going to be longer, substituting some of those letters with numbers or things like that. So all that's going to be really, really important as well. But at least 12 characters. And something that may help with your passwords is a password manager as well. So that would be, with a password manager, you only have to remember one password, and that's that master password to get into your password manager with this. And also another thing that a password manager can do, it generates strong, complex passwords. It remembers them for you, and then also it can help verify sites as well. So you know that you really are at a site, because your password manager will be like, hey, I've got a password for this site. If you're at a site, it looks like, legitimate and everything, and your password manager is not agreeing with it. Yeah, because that thing it's designed to pick up, that URL as well. So that can help verify some of those sites as well here. So that could be something to help mix up your passwords, protect everything with a password. Don't use the same password that you do for, let's say, online banking, anything financial. than you do with, let's say, social media or anything like that as well. So the encryption, the security. I mean, when it comes to financial sites, we are always audited, examined on all of that. So that and we take that very, very seriously as well. We know at Altra, we're not only trusted with protected people's money, but also their information as well. So we take that very, very seriously with this. So want to show you, and this is a video that was put on by McAfee and Intel here a few years ago on World Password Day. But just showing, the longer the password, each additional character, how much longer it can take a program in order to crack that password here. It's right there. We're at 14 minutes, 15 hours, 39 days, 6 years. Right there at the end. So we are right here. We are at 35. I had to look this up. Sextillion years to crack. I think by that time, it might be okay. So that is 7 sets of zeros. I had to look that up, how long that is, but showing the length of the password, really, really important. Again, mixing up, different characters and everything. You press space, that's a character right there as well. So make sure we are protecting everything with a password here. But yeah, this is, yeah. And you don't have to visit howsecureismypassword.net. Maybe not do that, but just showing the longer the password, the harder it is for a program in order to crack that. But yeah, 35 sextillion years. That's a long time. So Plague Defense Online, more things to think about. Public Wi-Fi. Be very, very careful. Be very weary of that. Especially, do not do anything financial over public Wi-Fi, over a guest network, anything like that. You never know who could be intercepting that information. You're going to be better off turning off your Wi-Fi and just using your mobile data. That's going to be a lot more encrypted and safe. Than just a wide open public Wi-Fi, or waiting until you get to a trusted internet source as well. So things to think about there. The worst places for Wi-Fi are going to be coffee shops or restaurants, airports, and hotels. Those are some of the worst places. It's becoming, with technology, it's becoming easier and easier for those that know just a little bit about what they're doing. They can set up, dummy networks or things like that. The internet's going to work. Things are going to connect. Things are going to work. But they are receiving all that information. Everything is going through, and they're capturing that information as well. So definitely want to be careful when it comes to public Wi-Fi and those networks. Also be careful about sharing your location. You may have gone to websites and saying like blah, blah, blah.com. They want to know, your location. They want to know where you are, or different apps or things like that. So really question, why do they need that information? Why do they need your location and those different services as well? With different apps, look at permissions that you are giving those apps, on your mobile phone, on your tablet, things like that. So take a look at in the settings, and in each different app, you should be able to do that. Look at what permissions, what is being shared as well. But you don't automatically have to do that. So really question why they need that. So some different things I want to talk about are smishing, vishing, phishing, farming. Did not make those up. These are all real things here. So, if you don't know who's calling, don't answer. Text, emails, things like that. We don't need to reply. We don't need to answer. We don't need to click on any links or download anything like that here. So we have an example of an old one, but I feel comfortable sharing this because Washington Mutual no longer around any longer. So this says, dear WAMU customer, we regret to inform you we've had to lock your WAMU account because we have reasons to believe it was compromised. And so you have to click here to verify, reactivate your account, do all of these things. No. I mean, it's got a document reference. It looks pretty legit. This is a good one. I've seen a lot of bad ones with this as well. But if you do think something is coming from a legitimate company, or you think it's coming from a financial institution, something that you think, Don't click on that link. Don't any of the information that they give you, any contact information, you look it up yourself. Look it up independently here as well. Or getting a text message saying your debit card or credit card has been locked, things like that. And, really be careful about those links, those emails, and also those texts as well. And we are right now in tax time as well. So we might be preparing our taxes, or maybe we sent that stuff to the IRS. And inevitably, there's going to be bad actors and things like that saying that they're from the IRS, a call that I got in the past.
The IRS is filing a lawsuit against you. To get more information about this case file, please call immediately on our department number 607.
Yeah, so that is not actually from the IRS. Save that one just for a demonstration. But saying that law enforcement is going to be at your door, that's not really how the IRS operates as well. You're going to get letters in the mail, things like that before anything else happens, and, as well. So again, smishing, that's going to be over text messaging. That's where it gets its name, over SMS messaging. Vishing, that is going to be something over the phone. Phishing, that could be a call, email. And then farming, that would be going to a website that maybe it looks like Amazon. It looks like a legitimate site, but you look at that URL, you look at that internet address, and it is not. So we always want to make sure that we are looking at that as well. And also, if you're able to directly go to a website, if you're able to type in that company's name and not just search for it, online, a search engine, because a lot of those top results, those are ads, those are, places, companies, people pay, to be at the top of those, and some of them may not be legitimate as well. So always be careful with that when searching online as well. Again, hopefully you learn to trust again, but always be on alert. More defense. Of course, we're reading the security screen of every social media site, everything that we are sharing our information with here as well. But if it's been a while, and platforms, they update this stuff all the time. So make sure that we're looking at it. Who are they sharing that information with? And, what advertisers or what's what can be seen by others, or, friends of others as well. Totally need to update these, because I know that each and every one, you're not on Facebook, you're not on, and I've even got the old name for that one as well. That's where the parents, grandparents are as well. But talking about social media, should you, let it access, your Snapchat, your Instagram, whatever cool social media services out there right now. I'm obviously not cool, so I don't know about those things. And be wary of what's free, because you may be paying for it with your information, with that access here as well. Or, worse, it could be, installing malware or, something else on your system. So we want to make sure that, whatever's free, understand how we're paying for it. We're paying for it one way, shape, or form. In the best case scenario, you're being fed some ads. Worst case, it is, getting into some of those different, sensitive data and things like that. So, really be careful about some of that, and do your research as well before just downloading it and do that. And while we're talking about social media, really examine how many connections, how many friends do we actually have here as well. We don't want to just pad the stats and just have, everybody. And you want to make sure that those you are connected to, because again, the information that you're putting out there, that can be shared, by friends of theirs, people you don't even know as well. So not a bad idea to go through your list and just trim things down a little bit, and just making sure everybody on there are people that and really do genuinely want to share information with. Excuse me. And this is all really important, because what happens online has offline implications as well. So an example here, this is from Facebook, talking about Wendy here. She's telling everybody hey, have a great holiday weekend, everybody. Road tripping to beautiful Lake Ripley in Cambridge, Wisconsin. Woo! For the holiday weekend, get to spend some good time with some good friends on the lake. Well, a couple problems with this. Number one, Wendy didn't invite me. That's probably the biggest one. But second, if we know where Wendy is going to be this holiday weekend, where is Wendy not going to be? Home. That's right. So, and that's why, being connected with those that you actually know is important here as well. And you don't have to update everybody in real time. This is what I'm doing now. This is where I'm at. This is where I'm going. You can, go on this great trip and then upload pictures or do those things when you get back as well. You don't have to do it all in real time. But again, that's why we want to make sure that those we are connected with, those are people that we actually know, we trust, and we want to share this information with, and they're not going to share it with others as well. So those are some things that we should be mindful of online. But learning about some of the different scams and what their objectives are and what's the identity thieves are trying to do. They try to take over accounts, whether that be some of your social media things, whether that be different, websites, platforms, email, financial, whatever. You're identifying information and taking over accounts that we may already have. May want to try to defraud you out of money or, open accounts in your name, especially, could be, loans, cell phones, whatever. And they're not going to make those payments because everything's, in somebody else's name as well. So we want to be mindful and be on the lookout, for what's strange or what's weird. Or also, they may want you to move money as well. A money mule scheme is something. So they're transferring money to you, trying to move money that has been made illegally or ill-gotten gains or something, trying to move it through a different account and make it appear clean or legitimate here as well. Never move money, for somebody else. Take it into your account, pay somebody else. No. Do not do that whatsoever. So some common components, those are, some of the three things. So they're trying to get something of value from you, trying to get your information, trying to get you to move money. Those are some of the more common objectives, what they're trying to do. So some of the components of these things to recognize when it comes to a scam, there may be a sense of urgency. They may, offer a reward or something like that for acting quickly, responding to this. And we'll show you some different scams that we've seen at the credit union. But they want you to move quickly as well, whether that being you're going to get a reward. Think about all this money that you're going to get, or it could be a threat as well. Going back to that IRS call saying the IRS has this case against me and law enforcement is on their way. So that they want you to act quickly with this. There's always a sense of urgency. Don't just sit around. Got to act quickly. You may be, if you're sworn to secrecy, that is a huge red flag as well. Or if you're coached to lie, those are things to really, walk away from. No. These are some big red flags that you will find. If you're getting this communication and you did nothing to receive it, so you're getting, emails, calls, texts, and you did, again, nothing to receive that information, do not answer the phone. Do not, click on any links. Don't open it, delete, block, whatever. But be really, really careful. Again, what you did, nothing to receive. Yeah, be very wary of that. And if you think something is legitimate, again, you look up the information yourself and call or contact, and more than likely, they'll tell you, nope, that's not us. That's not real. If they're wanting to be paid through non-traditional payment methods, this could be cryptocurrency. This could be gift cards. Perhaps they want things sent via wire as well, or some of the peer-to-peer payments as well. So some of these non-traditional payments as well. And like with a wire payment, or if you send money through through peer-to-peer, something like Venmo, Zelle, something of that nature, that money goes one way. You're not able to get that back as well. So some of those different non-traditional or risky payment methods as well is another red flag of many scams. If the offer's too good to be true, it more than likely is with this. So understand that. With a lot of these scams, the more that you think about it, the more you sit, the less it makes sense as well. So again, take a moment, take a step back. With all of this, you're the one with the information. You're the one in control. So again, we don't necessarily have to act quickly, but yeah, like I said, the more we think about it, the less and less a lot of this is going to make sense. Going back to that the money mule scam, like I mentioned, wanting you to move money or send money to you, you send money elsewhere. Don't do that whatsoever. If they're requesting, sensitive information, don't understand why. Yeah, so that's another red flag with a lot of these scams here. What you'll find in them. So some different scams we've seen here at the credit union. Some older examples that we have that we're comfortable in sharing, but fake check scams, online. So it could be you're selling something online, whether that be through, let's say Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace or something of that nature. They contact you, pay by check, and the check is always more than what you're asking. Is that weird? Yeah, it's weird. You might also receive communication that this was made in it's an error, it was a mistake. Send funds back or something of that nature. Or it could be, let's say you're buying something online, let's say through eBay or something like that, and the seller contacts you and says, "Hey, let's take this off eBay. You send me the money, I'll send you the item." Don't do that either. There's certain buyer protections and things like that with some of those services as well. More than likely, you're not going to get anything. You're going to send your money and you got nothing to show for it, and that person is long gone with that. So, show you an example. Here we were selling a beautiful hutch here. My assistant have overpaid you. I want to believe I won't have a problem with this. Send the remaining, Western Union. This is the check that we got. It did not say fraud on it when we got it. That would be a huge, incredible red flag. But I like the memo. Just thank you. We were asking $200 for that piece of furniture. It was more than 20. We got a check for more than $2,400. Yeah. Is that weird? Yeah. That's quite a mistake right there as well. They might say, "Oh, you need to send it for shipping, handling, or delivery, or something of that nature." No. Like I said, it did not say fraud on it. We put that on there as well here, but this is an absolute, a very, very fake check. Be very wary of accepting checks here. Some others, these did not say fraud on it when we got it here, but some of these they say cashier's check. So cashier's check, it's supposed to be backed by that financial institution, but these checks are fake. But some of these they may really stand out, and it's like, bam, that's fake. Some of these may look very, very real, very genuine. They may be a real check that was stolen or modified, washed or something of that nature as well. And sometimes it can take financial institutions, it could take a little bit to verify if a check is indeed real or not. So we really get to know our members, and if things are out of the ordinary, out of the norm, we may ask some questions. And really, that's in protection of our members here as well, or may put a hold on those funds. Because if we were to, let's say this, that top one, that $15,000 check, if we were to cash that check, get that money in cash or move it elsewhere, and that check comes back fake, we've got to repay the whole amount of that check. So you want to be really careful with these. Another scam. Hey, we won the lottery. Woo! We didn't even know we entered. But this is again more of the letter saying that we received this. We can get more than $150,000 with this. And we won this as a loyalty prize for shopping at one of the more participating stores. I know this is a little bit old, this letter, But Walmart, Kmart, I know Kmart's not around anymore. Sears really isn't around anymore either. Costco, Staples, Home Depot, Lowe's, Best Buy, etc. That's my favorite part of it, etc. They just ran out of big name stores and just put that on there. So to get this $153,000 in change, we are going to be sent a check for more than $3,700. For some reason, we need to deposit this into our account. And there's going to be a processing fee of more than $2,600 that we need to send back. And fees are payable, 2 transactions with this. And we have 48 hours to do this. So again, just think about that reward. Just think about all that money. All you got to do is just cash this check, take money, and send it elsewhere within 48 hours. So they want you to act quickly. But the more you think about this, the less sense it makes. A couple more examples, lottery scams. Publishers Clearinghouse, the International Lottery Board. Hey, we could win $1.5 million. Wouldn't that be nice right now? And they've got different numbers to call, hours, and there's only a week hold on our winning. So we got to do this fairly quickly. Again, they want you to act quickly. Don't think too much about this. Other scams, work at home, secret shopper scams as well. So paying for supplies up front or certifications or things like that. May be paid with a fake cashier's check and asked to shop at a legitimate business. So in this example, we were asked to go to a money transfer service, a Western Union. So take the check, cash it, deduct $170, keep that, and then go to any Western Union and then answer these questions on here with that money. So we were told to keep $170. This is the check that we got, more than $3,800 with that. So if we were to take this, cash it, send that money elsewhere, we'd be on the hook for the whole amount of that check. And as you can see at the top, the cashier's check, not quite centered. On every check, it's going to have different security information on it. So more than likely, there's going to be watermarks. So if you put a check up to transparent light, you're going to see different designs with it. There may be other micro printing on it. If you put it under, let's say, a UV light, or it should show up under, let's say, a black light as well. Different fibers of different colors on there. So there's going to be some different features that you're going to find within that. So taking a look at the check. But again, why are we getting this check as well? And be very, very wary accepting that as well. And the reference number on this check, I love it. They just fell asleep on the 0 key. Cool. There we go. So all the time in the news, we hear about data breaches, different websites, platforms, things like that get compromised. If you do learn about a service, a platform that we utilize that has been compromised, we want to make sure that we're changing passwords right away with that. And again, make it strong, make it complex, make it at least 12 characters long, at least that. If you could go longer than that, as we saw in that example, do it. Make sure you have a unique password for every account. Like I said, a password manager may be helpful in helping you remember some of those so that you only have one password to remember, that master password. Watch for unusual account activity as well. Weird things are happening with that. Be on the lookout. So not only your financial accounts, but could be social media or email or something of like that nature. And then hopefully, again, why we want to be connected with people that we know and trust. They can let us know, hey, if weird things are happening. So this happened to me on a social media site that changed names a couple of years ago. Haven't used it, but anyway, friend of mine, she reached out to me and said, hey, I'm getting these weird messages from you. That's just a link. That's it. That's all that's on there. I said, no, that's not me. I don't know what's going on. I go into my account. I look at, the folder was, what's sent and everything. Nothing was there. So I don't know. Something was weird. Changed the password. Nothing was sent out after that as well. But had a friend of mine had she not let me know that, hey, these weird messages are coming from your account that I'm receiving. I haven't clicked on anything, which is good. I would have never known with that. So again, that's why it's important to be connected with those that you know, that you trust here as well. More ways in which to protect yourself with all of this. Don't share information with those you don't know. You probably heard as a kid, stranger danger. It's still true as an adult. And also know that, ask, why do we need this information? Really, verify, and you're the one with the info. So, take a step back and really think about why do they need this, and ask as well. Why do you need this? Also know that we never need your PIN number, login information, account information, social security number, address, username, password for online banking. We never need any of that here, but we've got that on lockdown. Like I said, we are audited all the time. We are examined all the time. Not reaching out, not doing that whatsoever. If you do receive something, let's say from a financial or from something that you think might be legitimate, again, don't use any of the information that they give you, the numbers or links or anything like that. Independently look that up, and more than likely they'll tell you, yep, that is not us whatsoever with this. Shred anything that has any sort of identifying information, any account information, date of birth, anything like that. So shred that stuff. It's actually kind of fun shredding. I enjoy shredding things here at the house. So take that information, shred it, take those shreds, burn the shreds, and then shred the ashes. You just can't be too careful. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. That's a great way to break your shredder with that. But again, make sure that we're taking care of that. We're shredding that stuff as well. We don't want identity thieves dumpster diving or going through garbage and piecing things together as well. Like I said before, be wary of anything that sounds too good to be true. It more than likely is with this. Trust your gut with a lot of these too. If something seems off, something seems a little bit weird, we want to make sure that, we're trusting. More than likely, your gut's going to be right, with this. If something seems too good to be true, or like, hey, they want me to act now. Again, something too good to be true typically is. And know that those con artists, easy for me to say, they rely on impulse decisions. They rely on fear. That's why they want you to act quickly. If you really think about this, you're going to really realize that it doesn't make sense at all. More ways in which to protect ourselves. Like I said before, be wary of things that you did nothing to receive: unsolicited calls, emails, texts. Know that calls can be spoofed. So it can look like it's coming from a legitimate number. That caller ID could come up as a legitimate business, or possibly even a friend as well. So know that. Emails can look like they're coming from a trusted source. Text messages as well can look like they are legitimate and real. So if something's out of the ordinary, again, trust your gut. If something feels a little off, weird, really question it as well. Do your homework on that communication, like I mentioned as well. If you are getting things that you did nothing to receive whatsoever, never give out your online username, password, anything like that. You're responsible for it. So don't let others log into your account. Don't share that information, with it as well, unless it's something that, you signed up for, something that's legitimate, and you really do your homework on that. But, really keep your username, keep your password safe, secure. Don't share it with anybody. And again, make all your passwords unique. A password manager, like I mentioned, can be very, very helpful with a lot of this information here as well. So we talked about just a couple of different scams. There's other scams to be on the lookout for. Could be any tech support, pop-ups, or saying that your system is infected with a virus or something like that. No, that's not how Microsoft or whatever operates on this. Don't click anything. Don't download anything. And again, like I said, with AI and things like that, it's becoming a little bit more difficult as well. So I know that this is Teens and Money, but really quickly, and this could be something, share this information with others, but it's called the grandparent scam. And it's been around for a while, but with AI and things like that, and voices, it could sound real. So, it could be a grandparent gets a call, let's say from a grandchild saying that they're in trouble. They need money. They're in jail. They're in another country, whatever. And they need, money to get out of jail, or they need to pay a lawyer or something like that. And always say they're sworn to secrecy. Don't tell others about this. They need that money in cash or something of that nature. No. And if there are any grandparents or parents on the line, they may say, don't contact anybody. Really contact that person as well. I know this is something that, it was my own grandparents not too long ago. It was a call from what they thought was my cousin who had gotten a car accident, and they're saying that they needed money for bail, and don't tell them. And so, good thing they just ended up hanging up the phone and actually calling my cousin, and he's like, "What's going on?" He's like, "Oh, okay, you're not in jail. You didn't get a car accident." No. With this, so they say sworn to verify with all of these things as well. It really want to be on the lookout and be on your toes with all of these as well. So know that also at Altra, like I said, we're dedicated to protecting, accounts information. We take that very, very seriously. And there are some things that you could do to some added alerts and services to have some extra layers of security. So you can have a verbal password on your different accounts as well. So whether that be if you're calling in, could be if you're at one of our offices as well, that can help verify it is actually you, and only you can answer or you can verify that information. So you can put verbal passwords on accounts, absolutely. With a Visa card, there are Visa purchase alerts. So you can actually have, if it's over a certain amount or any deposits or any withdrawals or things like that, you can get different alerts. And also you could set up alerts in online banking as well. So those additional services. So any, deposits, withdrawals, there's a lot of different options that you can choose from and choose how you want to be notified as well, whether you want a text message, a call, an email, a lot of different ways to be alerted on what's going on with some of your accounts. I really recommend, in addition to the passwords, multi-factor authentication on your different accounts. So this would be not only entering your username and password, but also getting, an email that could verify, or if you have an authenticator app. So it's going to give you like a 6-digit number that you need to enter in the next 60 seconds. And that's going to be on a device that's on you, something that you know and trust. You could get a one-time use password via text message as well. Although text messages aren't the most secure thing, so know that as well. If somebody knows kind of what they're doing, SMS text messaging, not the most secure thing. So know that as well. But that is better than just having a password and no multi-factor authentication. So protect everything you can with multi-factor, two-factor authentication. And then we do have Ultra Secure ID as well. That is to help our members that have been a victim of identity theft or feel that their account may have been compromised or something like that. We have a fraud team as well that works with our members, that works with our card companies, that works with law enforcement, that works with different merchants as well. So that is another service that we offer. And then another thing too, because mail theft, unfortunately, is on the rise as well. And important information still comes through the mail. Getting informed delivery from the U.S. Postal Service as well may be something that could possibly help with all this as well. So you actually get an email of what mail is, images of your mail and packages, what is going to be arriving, so you know what's going to be arriving and when is it going to be arriving as well. But big thing with all this, again, take a moment, really trust your gut. Don't share information with those you don't know. Be careful with everything. Keep, passwords, multi-factor authentication, all those things. And hopefully you learn to trust again with this. And here at the end, on the internet, nobody knows you're a dog. Hey, trying to be a little bit funny with a very, very serious topic with this as well.